Hello, hello, hello! Welcome once again to me streaming some of the most cursed shit I have ever read. Yep, we're back with Epstein stuff, but we have just came off the last stream with something big. We did a bunch of police reports leading up to Jeffrey Epstein's arrest in the 2005 to 2006 timeframe. Now we're going to do a bit more of dataset 4, which is what we were doing last time. Maybe even completing it, because I've seen what's up ahead. So as we can see here, we're currently doing the Epstein Files Transparency Act. It's been a while since I've shown this, actually. And we're here. Dataset 1, 2, and 3 we have already done. We're actually on dataset 4, currently of 12, and a little bit more stuff to go as well. But I've scouted ahead with dataset 4. There are certain sections where it's going to be a little bit more boring stuff, but stuff that we can gloss over. Sadly, last stream and the stream before, there was some interesting content going through police reports and going through actual testimony. That is already created as a video, and that will be put up later at a certain point. I just didn't want it to sort of interfere with my existing uploads, because people want to come here for the HFY, and why wouldn't you? But that's going to go up later. I'm also got a cat video or two to sort of balance it out, because that's just depressing. Anyway, as I say, we're covering the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and if we go here, this is the charity we are supporting. So I fully intend for any proceeds gained from this content and my other Epstein coverage to go to Speak Out, Act, Reclaim. SAW. Founded by Virginia Guthrie, now deceased. And while the organisation is not currently accepting donations, and I was unable to set up any official fundraiser via YouTube, I will donate the proceedings when possible, or to a similar organisation if not, and proof of this will be released when I do so. Now, I do know that Prince Andrew did send SAW a lot of money as part of a settlement, but that was like a private thing between them. There's no public way for me to send them funds yet, but when that happens, I will let you know. If there's any problems, I'll be candid about it, and I'll see if we can find a similar organisation that will help get the victims the justice they deserve. Anyway, let's go back to the meat of the thing. There we go. Alright. So we're carrying on dataset 4, file 7253. And we do have a lot of forms coming up. So when we come across those forms, I will detail the rules for me narrating those forms, because there's a lot of repeats and a lot of useless information there. So in the interest of moving things along, we'll cover those rules when we get there. But for now, T-Mobile, get more from life, I assume that says. It's very faded. T-Mobile USA, Law Enforcement Relations, 4 Sylvan, Parsippany, NJ 07054. Telephone 866-537-0911. Fax 973-292-8697. March 23rd, 2007. SA, redacted. FBI, redacted. West Palm Beach, Florida 33401. R copy. Dear Redacted, this is in response to the subpoena issued pursuant to number 21 USC 876, dated February 16, 2007, and served upon T-Mobile USA on March 23, 2007. This subpoena requests customer identification and account information and call detail records for the T-Mobile USA subscriber, assigned mobile telephone number, redacted. A search of our subscriber database discloses the following information. Account number, redacted. Subscriber account number, Jeffrey E. Epstein. Date of birth, 01/20/1953. Social security number, redacted. Address, redacted, New York, New York, 100226843. Home telephone, redacted. Work telephone, also redacted. IMSI, redacted. Date account established, 02/08/2005. Service plan, monthly, individual. Current status, cancelled. Disconnect date, 4/8/2006. Last refill date, nothing there. And none of these three options are selected. Call detail records are provided on the pages which follow. Call detail records are presently being compiled. Original materials follow via US mail. Should you have any questions regarding this information, please feel free to contact me at your convenience. My direct telephone number is redacted. Very truly yours, redacted. Law Enforcement Relations. File redacted. Customer service number 1-800-937-8997. Feb 10th, 2005. Itemized details for redacted. Account number redacted. Page 19 of 24. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service BWC and BES add-on NW Get More Ultra W/NTs. Text message 300, whatever that is. And we got RIM BlackBerry, 3 minutes, use them or lose them, free text message. So RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes, whenever, unlimited. The last column is weekend. 3 minutes, type minutes, whenever, 1,500. Use them or lose them, minutes, weekend, unlimited. Free text message, messages 300. Use service. Included plan minutes, type minutes, off-peak 5. RIM BlackBerry, megabytes. So yeah, we got whenever, peak, off-peak, and weekend as these headings. If it's not included, I'm just going to gloss over that. RIM BlackBerry, megabytes, whenever, 0.0069. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, off-peak 8. Text message received, messages whenever 2. Text messages sent, messages 1 whenever 1. Monthly service charges. Partial monthly charge for BB, BWC, and BES add-on from $208.05 to $208.05. Amount $1. Partial monthly charge for NW Get More Ultra with NTS from $208.05 to $208.05. That's $2.67. Partial monthly charge for text message 300 from $208.05 to $208.05. That's 10 cents. Partial monthly charge for world-class Intel rate from $208.05 to $208.05. No amount. One-time charges. One-time charge for activation fee, $35. Taxes, fees, and surcharges. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, 11 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 53 cents. State gross receipt tax, 14 cents. State sales tax, $1.66. State telecom excise, 95 cents. County surcharge, 4 cents. County telecom excise, 74 cents. MCTD surcharge, 23 cents. Local sales tax, $1.71. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Note, fee we collect and retain to help cover our costs related to funding and complying with government mandates, programs, and obligations. Total charges, $47.24. And already my throat's buggered. Jesus. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Date 20805, call destination Miami, Florida. Time 9:23 p.m. Number called redacted. Call type F, minutes 8. No airtime charges, no toll charges, and no total. Subtotal 13 minutes. Now we've got call type here. A, call waiting. B, call forward. C, conference call. E, data, fax. F, mobile to mobile. G, voicemail. H, free calls. K, WPS call. Now I suspect we're going to get some repeats of this, so when that comes along, I'm going to note that. Itemized details for redacted, account number redacted. Customer service number 1-800-937-8997. Feb 10th, 2005, page 20 of 24. Data service charges. Date 20805, service RIM BlackBerry. Megabytes 0.0059. No total. Subtotal 0.0069. 69 was the previous one, sorry. Does look like a 59, it's a bad print. Total of all usage charges, nothing there. And we've done that before. Yeah, that's exactly a copy there. Customer service number 1-800-937-8997, March 10, 2005. Okay, account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service BB, BWC, and BES add-on, RIM BlackBerry, and NW Get More Ultra with NTS. RIM BlackBerry, megabytes whenever unlimited. 3 minutes, type minutes whenever 1,500. Use them or lose them, minutes, weekend unlimited. Free text message, time messages whenever 300. So use service. Included plan minutes. Type minutes, peak 38, free off-peak, 9 weekend. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes, whenever 0.1434. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes peak 2, off-peak 23, weekend 1. Text message received, messages, whenever 24. Text message sent, type messages, whenever 38. Monthly service charges. BBBWC and BES add-on, amount $29.98. Oh, I should say totals here, 112.96. NW Get More Ultra with NTS, that's $79.99. Text message, 300, that's $2.99. World Class, Intel rate, nothing there. Taxes, fees, surcharges, total looks like $17.99. Government fees and tax. Federal excise tax, $2.55. Federal Universe Service Fund, $1.15. State gross receipts tax, 31 cents. State sales tax, state gross receipts tax, that was, 31 cents. State sales tax, $3.65. State telecom excise, $2.07. County surcharge, 10 cents. County telecom excise, $1.64. MCTD surcharge, 50 cents. Local sales tax, $3.66. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Note on that last one, fee we collect and retain to help cover our costs related to funding and complying with government mandates, programs, and obligations. Total charges, $130.95. Okay, and this is where we get the repeats here. Now, we have covered this before, so I'm just going to do the first line, just to give you the format, and then I'm going to gloss over it because the most important info is the number called, and it's a complete redaction. And minutes, as you can see, 11111. That's it throughout. So sadly, we don't know the context of these. We just know there are messages. So, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Date 20805, call destination New York, New York. Time 11:58 a.m. Number called redacted. Call type, nothing there. Minutes 1. Airtime charges not there. Toll charges not there. Total, nothing there. And we're going to get that happening a lot. So, as once more, call type A equals call waiting, B call forward, C conference call, E data fax, F mobile to mobile, G voicemail, H free calls, and K is a WPS call. Now we also have incoming, so that's an incoming call, Marion, Ohio, Miami, Florida, Miami, Florida. The only thing that really changes is these destinations and the minutes. So if it's an interesting destination, I will let you guys know. But first I'm going to take a sniff of this. Don't worry, it's not drugs. Just to prove that it's not drugs, I will show it to the webcam. This is a nasal stick. It means I can clear my airways with that. Now I'm getting some medicine that can deal with this problem, but in the meantime, it's just symptoms I've got to deal with. So that's fine. So as I say, we've breezed past this. It's all 1-minute calls to random places. 22 minutes, for example, to Miami, Florida. That would probably be his address, because he has address in West Palm Beach and El Brillo Way. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Again, calls of trivial sizes. New York, he has an address there as well. Epstein has an address. West Palm Beach, Florida, that's more specific, but that could be another property in Florida. So as I say, we're gonna gloss past stuff like that. So for example, here this is a bit different here. Data service charges. Date 20905, RIM BlackBerry megabytes 0.0079, 1078, 140, 268, 20, 88, 30, 20, 80, 158, 10, 90, 166, 99, and 98. All in BlackBerry, ranging from 20905 to 30205. There. Subtotal 0.1434. And there's no total of all usage charges or indeed any costs here that you can see. Anyway, here's another one. Okay, account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service, BB, Biz and Bez add-on, RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes unlimited. NW, get more ultra with NTS, 3 minutes, 1,500. These are repeats. This is the same plan, so I'm going to gloss over this because it's the exact same plan. This, however, is not a repeat, so we're going to do that again. Use service, Intel text message sent, type minutes whenever 4. Included plan minutes, type minutes. Type minutes. Peak 74, off-peak 1, weekend 23. RIM BlackBerry, megabytes, whenever 0.1654. And that's whenever. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 4, off-peak 4. Text message received, messages whenever 10. Text message sent, minutes, whenever, off-peak 0.01. Text message sent, messages, whenever 33. This is also a repeat. The monthly service charges are exactly the same as the last one. Usage charges. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges, $8.75. Messaging charges, 60 cents, for a total of $9.35. Taxes, fees, and surcharges, total $19.99. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, $2.82. Federal Universal Service Fund, $1.43. State gross receipts tax, 35 cents. State sales tax, $4.06. State telecom excise, $2.38. County surcharge, 12 cents. County telecom excise, $1.83. MCTD surcharge, 56. Local sales tax, $4.08. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. And we've got the same note here. Total charges, $142. Let me do that again. $142.30. So local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Again, this is the same chart as before. So we've got the date, call destination, time, number called, which is all redacted, number of minutes, and any charges in total, which there's nothing there. So again, we can gloss through these. These are all 1-minute calls, 3-minute calls, with the occasional, 4-minute, 5-minute, maybe. And the only time it's not redacted is 411 or block number under the number called, so it's pretty useless. Again, New York, West Palm Beach, and we're getting a lot of repeats here. 1888 number, for example, but these are all the exact same. And now we're getting basic toll charges of $125, but that's very useless information. So we've got the exact same here. Minutes, I can just give you the subtotal of the minutes. That is 106 total minutes as a subtotal, with a toll charge total of $8.75. There you go. It would be much easier if I totted up the total, because I've given you the sum amount of it, and there is a lot of these. I've scattered ahead. There is a lot of these. We're not necessarily so interested in that, but I will mark it, and I will point out absolutely anything of interest. So if you want to hold this against me for not actually narrating the whole thing, by all means, but I think it is an acceptable thing I can gloss over. And at the end of the day, I'm the one doing it. Anyway, messaging charges, all 0.15. Service to Poland, that's interesting. And International PO. 2 to Poland, 2 to that. All texts, messages 1 minute. 212, 213, 812, and 813. Subtotal 50 messages. And this is the subtotal including messages with 0 charges. And that's a total charge of 60 cents. Data service charges. These are all RIM BlackBerry. So, and data is ranging from 30205 to 40605, no total. So megabytes, 0.0010, 69, 10, 137, 49, 88, 10, 358, 49, 318, 148, 30, 10, 30, 69, 140, and 129. Subtotal of 0.1654 megabytes. Total of all usage charges, $9.35. Okay, we've got another account service detail for the subscriber. Again, this is exactly the same here, which I'm sure you can see here. Can you see my mouse? Yeah, you can. New service. Okay, this is different, so once again, we are going to go through that. Included plan minutes as a used service. Type minutes, peak 62, off-peak 40, weekend 15. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes, whenever 0.1605. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 6. Text message received, type messages, whenever, 89. Text message sent, type minutes, peak 0.03, off-peak 0.01, weekend 0.01. Text message sent, type messages, whenever, 92. Monthly service charges, this is exactly the same as last time, so I'm going to skip past that. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $4.34, and that's the same as the total. Taxes, fees, and surcharges, $19. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax, $2.69. Federal Universe Service Fund, $1.36. State gross receipts tax, 33 cents. State sales tax, $3.82. State telecom excise, $2.25. County surcharge, 11 cents. County telecom excise, $1.71. MCTD surcharge, 54 cents. Local sales tax, $3.83. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Total charge of $136.30. And again, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. The date starts at 4/10/05. Again, these are repeats, as is this. West Palm Beach, New York. A new one, Shah Amel VI. Is that Virginia? I think that's Virginia. Of note here, these are all 1-minute calls or, near enough. This one is a 17-minute call to Miami, Florida. And we got a charge here, a toll charge of 0.59 and for Shah Amel VI. Looks like they called a bunch of times on the same date. And we can keep glossing down. Number unavailable, 411 block number. Yeah, none of these numbers. These numbers are all the important information. Unfortunately, it's all being redacted. Oh, we've got a comment. Signal man Mike Keeble. Mike, I just wanted to say you have a fantastic voice. Well, thank you, Mike. I very much appreciate that. And I'm glad I'm putting it to good use, even though my throat and voice will be dead by the end of this stream, which is what normally happens. But hey, it's for a good cause, so that's fine. I'm glad you enjoy the content I do. At least I'm sure you're a subscriber. I'm sure you haven't just come across me. I'm sure you've subscribed to the channel. Well, thank you thank you very much for the nice comment. It's stuff like that keeps me going, really. Yeah, these are all repeats here. Total minutes is 20. Subtotal, 128 minutes. Oh no, that's the total 0 VM calls is 20 minutes. Subtotal of 128 minutes. Total toll charges of $4.34. And there we go. Data service charges range from 407.05 to 508.05 on RIM BlackBerry. No totals there. So we got megabytes, 0.0090, 39, 120, 39, 10, 58, 119, 160, 59, 70, 50, 10, 88, 50, 138, 29, 158, 50, 70, 79, and 119 for a subtotal of 0.1605. And the total of all usage charges is $4.34. Okay, we got another one. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. This is a repeat. Use service. Include plan minutes, type minutes. Peak 74, off-peak 5, weekend 13. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes whenever 0.0835. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes. Peak 10, off-peak 2. Text message received as messages whenever 48. Text message sent, minutes. Peak 0, off-peak 0.01. Weekend 0.07. Text message sent, messages whenever 71. Monthly service charges is the same as before. Oh no, is it the same as before? I think it is. Yeah, $29.98. This might be slightly different. I don't know. Maybe they fucked up the total of that. But no, that does look exactly the same as what we've seen before. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $1.25. That's the total there. And taxes, fees and surcharges total $18.23. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, $2.59. Federal Universe Service Fund, $1.31. State gross receipts tax, 32 cents. State sales tax, $3.48. State telecom excise, $2.16. County surcharge, 11 cents. County telecom excise, $1.66. MCTD surcharge, $0.52. Local sales tax, $3.72. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory program fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $132.44. And local airtime, long distance and international charges. We've got more repeats here. Date start is 5:09:05. Minutes 2. And again, all of these are trivially short calls. You have like the occasional 4-1 here, but these are all for New York. Oh, Queens, New York, that's slightly different. West Palm Beach, Marion, Ohio, we've got that as a new address. But yeah, this is all relatively the same. We've got block numbers, 411. All of these numbers are blocked. And the subtotal for the cost of all of that is minutes, 107 minutes. And total cost is $1.25. Messaging charges, subtotal 134 messages. And then we got data service charges under RIM BlackBerry. Range is 50805 to 60605. We've covered these megabytes before, so I'm just going to say the subtotal of the megabytes is 0.0835. Total of all usage charges is $1.25. So, account service detail for subscriber. Again, this is a repeat. Use service, included plan minutes. Under minutes, peak 133, off-peak 7, weekend 5. RIM BlackBerry, megabytes, 0.2759 under whenever. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, 6 minutes peak, 8 minutes weekend. Text message received, messages whenever 74. Text message sent, type minutes, weekend 0.05. Text message sent, messages whenever 68. This is a repeat here under monthly service charges. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $11.25, and that's the same as the total. Taxes, fees and surcharges as $20.15. 15 cents. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax, $2.90. That's dollars. Federal Universe Service Fund, $1.47. State gross receipts tax, 36 cents. State sales tax, $3.90. State telecom excise, $2.42. County surcharge, 13 cents. County telecom excise, $1.86. MCTD surcharge, 58 cents. Local sales tax, $4.17. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory program fee, 86 cents. That's total charges, $144.36. Local airtime, long distance and international charges. Start date is 6:09:05. Okay, we got 411 numbers called immediately with 6 and 11 minutes with toll charges, $125. So, let's have a look at the things that change from this otherwise typical spreadsheet that we've seen. New Canaan, CT, that's a new address. Grand Rapids, MI? Missouri, maybe? I don't know. I don't know my US state names. I'm British. But yeah, but apart from that, we got that. No major calls, nothing under 5 minutes. I mean, we've got 2 5 minutes, which are direct assist, 411. Same here. San Barbara, CA. That's a new destination. Apart from that, this is very much the same. Small calls. Okay, and it doesn't... Oh no, total 0 VM calls, 13 minutes. Okay, we don't have anything underneath that. Normally it would say the total. But yeah, again, that's very atypical. So we got another one here. Local airtime, long distance and international charges are continued. Here's the subtotal that we're looking for. That's a subtotal of 159 minutes and toll charges of $11.25. Messaging charges... subtotal included message with 0 charges, 151 messages. Now, data service charges, this ranges from 60805 to 70705. And while we got different values here, the subtotal is 0.2759 megabytes. Total of all usage charges, $11.25. So, account service detail for subscriber, again. This is a repeat. Use service, included plan minutes. Type minutes, peak 27, weekend 17. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes whenever 0.0421. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 4, weekend 9. Text message received, type minutes, peak 0, weekend 0. Text message received, type messages whenever 13. Text message sent, type minutes, weekend 0. Text message sent, type messages whenever 15. Monthly service charges is the same as before. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $2.74, same as the total. Taxes, fees and surcharges, a total of $18.35. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax, $2.64. Federal Universal Service Fund, $1.33. State gross receipts tax, 32 cents. State sales tax, $3.48. State telecom excise, $2.20. County surcharge, 11 cents. County telecom excise, $1.66. MCTD surcharge, 0.53. Local sales tax, $3.72. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $134.05. Local airtime, long distance and international charges. Again, we've got the same stuff here. Start date is 7/11/05. So we got a call for 7 minutes, which is a 1-800 number. We got a call for Lithuania here. That's different. We've also got Austin, Texas as a new address. Eatontown, New Jersey. Keensburg, New Jersey. I think NJ is New Jersey. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong. But we got all of that there. So the most important thing is the total 0 VM calls. It says 1. Subtotal is 57 minutes. Toll charges, subtotal is $2.74. Now we've got messaging charges. Subtotal including messages with 0 charges, 31 messages. Okay, data service charges, we've got a range from 721.05 to 808.05, all in BlackBerry, and the subtotal of the megabytes is 0.0421. Total of all usage charges, $2.74. Okay, here we go again. Account service detail for the subscriber, redacted. Same plans here. Use service. Included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 63, off-peak 7, weekend 32. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes whenever 0.1696. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes, peak 20, weekend 6. Text message record, type minutes, peak 0.04. Text message record, type messages whenever 24. Text message received roaming, type messages whenever 2. Text message sent, type messages whenever 19. Text message sent roaming, type messages whenever 2. Okay. Yep, this is the same. Monthly service charge is exactly the same. Usage charge. Local airtime, long distance and international charges, $5.78. Roaming charges, $11.96. Messaging charges, 70 cents, for a total of $18.44. Taxes, fees and surcharges total $19.03. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax $2.73. Federal Universal Service Fund $1.38. State gross receipts tax 32 cents. State sales tax $3.53. State telecom excise $2.27. County surcharge 11 cents. County telecom excise $1.68. MCTD surcharge 55 cents. Local sales tax $3.78. State 911 $1.20. County 911 30 cents. Regulatory program fee, 86 cents. Roaming tax, $32. Total charges, $150.43. And here we have again, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Very much the same. We got a call for 7 minutes at the start, Miami, Florida. But apart from that, these are very samey. So we got Jupiter, Florida. That's a new address. Nothing particularly interesting, but we're going to get to the... Okay, we're getting to the subtotal at the bottom. So total 0 VM calls, 14 minutes. Subtotal, 124 minutes. Toll charges, $5.78, and that's the total as well. Roaming charges. So 902.05 to 903.05. We've got incoming VM retrieval, time 2:23 p.m. A number called MBR unavailable. Okay, unavailable. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, and we've got redacted here. It's all $2.99 for these, for a total of $11.96. Messaging charges, date 902.05 and 03.05, service USA, time 2:20 p.m. and 10:54 a.m., destination redacted, message 1, direction outgoing. Yeah, the total for those are 35 cents each, so 70 cents total. Data service charges ranges from 809.05 to 905.05, or in BlackBerry, and the megabytes total is 0.1696 megabytes. Total of all usage charges $18.44. Okay, this time, same again, account service for subscriber redacted. Use service, included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 83, off peak 5, weekend 26. Rim BlackBerry, type megabytes whenever 0.4688. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 11, off peak 2, weekend 4. Text message received, type messages whenever 27, I should say. Text message sent, type messages whenever 13. Monthly service charges are the same as before. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $3.75. And that's the same as the total. Taxes, fees and surcharges total $18.72. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, $2.67. Federal Universal Service Fund, $1.35. State gross receipts tax, 33 cents. State sales tax, $3.59. State telecom excise, $2.23. County surcharge, 12 cents. County telecom excise, $1.71. MCTD surcharge, 53 cents. Local sales tax, $3.83. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $135.43. Local airtime, long distance and international charges. Okay, so again, start date of this is 9/09/05. Anything of interest? We've got Jupiter, Florida, Boca Raton, Florida. All these addresses we've seen before. All the minutes we've seen before. There's nothing that jumps out. These are all, as far as I'm concerned, this is one big, massive repeat of each other. Okay, but at the end, total 0 VM calls, that's 13 minutes. Subtotal, 134 minutes. Toll charges, $3.75, and that's the total as well. Messaging charges, subtotal including messages with 0 charges, 40 messages. Data service charges, date 8/22/05 to 10/08/05, all in BlackBerry. So the subtotal of that is 0.4688 megabytes. Total of all usage charges, $3.75. Account service detail, again, this is the same. Use service, included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 98, off peak 4, weekend 14. Rim BlackBerry, type megabytes whenever 0.1628, T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 4, weekend 1. Text messages received, messages whenever 19. Text message sent, messages whenever 20. Monthly service charges are the same. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $7.50. Roaming charges, $23.92 for a total of $31.42. Taxes, fees and surcharges, that's $20.05. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax, $2.79. Federal Universal Service Fund, $1.41. State gross receipts tax, 35 cents. State sales tax, $3.74. State telecom excise, $2.33. County surcharge, 12 cents. County telecom excise, $1.79. MCTD surcharge, 56 cents. Local sales tax, $4. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Roaming tax, 60 cents. Total charges, $164.43. Local airtime, long distance and international charges. Start date of this is 10/09/05. Okay, and as we say, okay, we've got a 10-minute call, Miami, Florida. Beverly Hills, California, we've got that here as a new address. Lincoln, MA. I think we said that before. Okay, and we've glossed through that. So subtotal of that is 133 minutes. Oh, sorry. Total 0 VM calls, minutes 2. Subtotal 113 minutes, $7.50, and that's the total as well. Roaming charges, that's all on the same date. So the surcharge of the subtotal of this is 8 minutes roaming. Airtime charges $23.92 for all of that roaming charge. Messaging charges, 39 messages, no total. Data service charges, $929.05 to $11.08.05. Subtotal of the megabytes is 0.1628. Total of all usage charges, $31.42. Nearly there. Again, account service detail for subscriber, available service, all repeat. Use service, included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 62, off peak 1. Rim BlackBerry, type megabytes whenever 1.5537. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes, peak 1. Text message received, type messages whenever 12. Text message sent, messages whenever 18. Monthly service charges are exactly the same. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $18.27. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax $2.56. Federal Universal Service Fund $1.55. State gross receipts tax 32 cents. State sales tax $3.43. State telecom excise $2.13. County surcharge 11 cents. County telecom excise $1.64. MCTD surcharge 51 cents. Local sales tax $3.66. State 911 $1.20. County 911 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee 86 cents. Total charges $131.23. Local airtime, long distance, and international calls. Start date is 11/14/05. Okay, as always, I'll gloss through this, but if anything interesting comes up, I will say. Okay, OPA Assist CL. Number called 0, minutes 32. So yeah, we've got 32 minutes here. We've got the subtotal of all minutes as 64. Messaging charges, messages 30, no charge. Data service charges, date is from 11:09:05 to 12:06:05. Subtotal megabytes, 1.5537. Okay, account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available services the same. Use service included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 21, off peak 1. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes, whenever 0.2684. Text message received, messages, whenever 2. Text messages sent, messages, whenever 5. Monthly service charges the same. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance, and international charges, $1.25. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $18.50. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, $2.60. Federal Universal Service Fund, $1.57. State gross receipts tax, 32 cents. State sales tax, $3.48. State telecom excise, $2.16. County surcharge, 11 cents. County telecom exercise, $1.66. MCTD surcharge, 0.52. Local sales tax, $3.72. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date 12/12/05. Okay, again, we'll see if there's anything of interest. No, there isn't. There's not much at all. Subtotal of that is 22 minutes. With subtotal toll charges of $1.25. Messaging charges. Total of 7 messages, no charge. Data service charges ranges from 11:08:05 to 1:06:06. Subtotal of megabytes is 0.2684. Total of all usage charges, $1.25. And again, account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service is the same. Use service, included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 1. RIM BlackBerry, type megabytes, whenever 0.1530. Monthly service charges are the same. Taxes, fees, and surcharges, 18.62. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax, $2.61. Federal Universal Service Fund, $1.55. State gross receipts tax, 32 cents. State sales tax, $3.54. State telecom excise, $2.15. County surcharge, 11 cents. County telecom excise, $1.69. MCTD surcharge, 52 cents. Local sales tax, $3.77. State 911, $1.20. County 911, 30 cents. Regulatory programs fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $131.58. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Well, that's easy because there's only one. Subtotal, 1 minute. That's it. Data service charges ranges 113.06 to 127.06. Subtotal of the megabytes is 0.1530. Right, we made it past that. Although I think we've got more coming up. T-Mobile. T-Mobile USA, Law Enforcement Relations, 4 Sylvan, and Parsippany, NJ07054. Intel 866-537-0911. Fax 973-292-8697. March 23rd, 2007. SA redacted FBI, redacted West Palm Beach, Florida 33401. Dear SA redacted. This is in response to the subpoena issued pursuant to number 21 USC 876, dated February 16, 2007, and served upon T-Mobile USA on March 23, 2007. This subpoena requests customer identification and account information and call detail records for the T-Mobile USA subscriber assigned mobile telephone number redacted. A search of our subscriber database discloses the following information. Account number, redacted. Subscriber account name, redacted. Date of birth, NA. Social security number, NA. Address, redacted. Brooklyn, NY, 11205-3043. Home telephone, NA, work telephone, redacted, IMSI. Yeah, I said that correctly, IMSI, redacted. Date account established, 11/30/2004. Service plan, monthly, business, current status, cancelled. Disconnect date, 12/9/2004. Last refill date, no details. And none of these details are entered, these are repeats from before, with a note saying no calls. Should you have any questions regarding this information, please feel free to contact me at your convenience. My direct telephone number is redacted. Very truly yours, redacted. Ronald Witt, Law Enforcement Relations. File redacted. And that's the end of that file. But we've got more. In fact, this might be an exact copy. Okay. Well, so far so good. All right. So T-Mobile USA, Law Enforcement Relations for Sylvan Parsippany NJ 07054. Telephone 866-537-0911. Fax 973-292-8697. March 23rd, 2007. Redacted FBI. Redacted. West Palm Beach, Florida 33401. Dear SA, this is in response to the subpoena issued pursuant to number 21 USC 876 dated February 16, 2007 and served upon T-Mobile USA on March 23, 2007. This subpoena requests customer identification and account information and call detail records for the T-Mobile USA subscriber assigned mobile telephone number, redacted. A search of our subscriber database discloses the following information: account number, subscriber account number, date of birth, social security number, and address, all redacted apart from Miami Beach, Florida, 33141-2414. Home telephone, work telephone, IMSI, redacted, And date account established, 03/12/2003. Service plan, monthly, individual. Current status, cancelled. Disconnect date, 12/21/2005. Last refill date, nothing there. Call detail records are provided on the pages as follow. Call detail records are presently being compiled. Original materials followed via US mail. None of that selected. This is indeed a repeat from the last two. But it does be worth repeating, I think, because it's a new file. Should you have any questions regarding this information, please feel free to contact me at your convenience. My direct telephone number is redacted. Very truly yours, redacted. Law Enforcement Relations. File redacted. And again, we're going to get the same here. So we're going to get a lot of the same, but if I can sort of gloss over it, or I can shorten it in some way, I will do that in the interest of not only saving time, but getting to the actually narratable stuff. Most of this is non-narratable. So customer service number 1-800-937-8997. Same one as before. Itemized details for redacted, account number redacted. June 21st, 2004, page 5 of 17. So, local airtime, long distance and international charges, continued. So we're going to go for the headings. Date, call destination, time, number called, call type, minutes, airtime charges, and toll charges. And indeed, there is nothing there. I mean, it just seems like this is an early redaction. But the main details we want to know are the numbers called, but that's all redacted unless it's a 411 number or numbers not identified. And the minutes are always like 1, 2, or 3 minutes. We got no context from that, so this is why I feel like we can sort of speed through it a little bit. But the start date of that is 12/23/03, 2003. So we're going to carry on down. Miami, Florida is the main number here. What the fuck? Flotordradil, Florida. Sounds like something out of Norway. Like fucking Asgard landed in Florida. I don't know. Regardless, we got that address in Florida as well. Again, but I only got that one that I actually highlighted is 29 minutes long, which is bucks the trend. This one 11 minutes, but it's mostly like 1 minute calls, and you know you got the occasional 8 minutes here. Customer care is 1. Don't know who customer care actually refers to. Call type A, call waiting, B, call forward, C, conference call, E, data fax, F, mobile to mobile, G, voicemail, H, free calls. So a lot of these are free calls and mobile to mobile. And K, WPS call. Okay, and as I say, we've got the same here again. You know, some of the longer calls, like 5 minutes, 8 minutes. Most of it is for Miami, Florida, and this other, like, fucking Cthulhu pronunciation, Florida. I'm not even going to try and do that. I'm probably going to summon something. Yeah, 10 minutes, 11 minutes. We're going to look at the subtotal at the end. That's the more important thing. The subtotal will sort of count up all the minutes in their totality. So North Dade, Florida, that's a new one. New York as well. You know, new one for this anyway. We've seen that before in other places. North Dade, yep, same again. Las Vegas, Nevada. Again, more mobile to mobile. The rest of these are unmarked. San Francisco, California. Okay, and we're at the end of this one. Total 0 VM calls, 33 minutes. Subtotal, 469 minutes. Toll charges, 99 cents. That's the total. Messaging charges, all for each individual 5 cents. Subtotal 20 cents. A completely redacted service, time, destination, and message type. Maybe this one's a big one, who knows? That was 120803. That one was the full redaction there. 2 more to Miami, Florida, and 1 to Poland for some reason. Hey, Poland! You've been mentioned. Messages 7. No, I'm kidding. I have a lot of Polish fans. They're awesome. Like they come in the Discord chat and they yeah, they're always great bands. Like many of them are school age as well. And I remember helping one with their well, I don't think help is a strong word. I think I gave them some good advice on their school project. There you go. I'm always happy to mentor people. Subtotal 7 minutes. Total of all usage charges are $1.19. So account service detail for subscriber redacted. Now this is something new. We're going to go over the and this is not a repeat anyways. It's completely different. But I will mention it. But it's just if it's a repeat and is in the same file, I will gloss over it for ease of time. So available account service detail for subscriber redacted. NW family time 3 minutes. Type minutes whenever 800. T-Mobile to T-Mobile type minutes whenever unlimited. Text message received type messages whenever 50. Use them or lose them type minutes weekend unlimited. Use service enhanced voicemail type minutes peak 17 off peak 6 weekend 2. Included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 164, off peak 18, weekend 31. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes, peak 71, off peak 5, weekend 36. Monthly service charges, VM and fax, amount, nothing there. Usage charges, messaging charges, amount $2.10, that's the total. Taxes, surcharges and assessments, total of 84 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 3 cents. Utility use, 19 cents. City Utility Users Tax, 12 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Total charges, $2.94. Now we got this chart again. Local airtime, long distance and international calls. Start date is 1/20/04. So it's all Miami, Florida for a small amount of minutes. We've got a new one here, Perrine, Florida. Again, I'm discovering all these random places in Florida. Florida's a magical place. I mean, I definitely got to visit there at some point. Like, it would be lovely to go to America. Although, having said that, I'll probably get shot if I go around with my accent. Who knows? No, I'm kidding. Like, I've had so many people invite me to, basically invite me to a range if I'm in their area in America. That's awesome. That's hospitality. Like, all of them have invited me to a gun range. You're like, okay, gun range first, then the Waffle House second. Waffle House is on my bucket list as well. No particular reason. Anyway, okay, this is 13 minutes for an incoming call. But again, this is mostly Miami, Florida. I probably completely muddled that pronunciation. It's the same ones. We've got 1-800 numbers. Incoming. Same amount of minutes. We've got West Palm Beach mentioned. North Dade, Delray, BCH. I'm assuming that's beach. There's a lot of beach places in Florida. Yeah, we're just carrying on in there here. And okay, we're at the end. Total 0 VM calls, minutes 25. The subtotal is 350 minutes called, no charges. Messaging charges, date 1/24/04. Okay. Yeah, there's all, okay. 1/24/04 to 2/06/04. Bunch from Miami, Florida, a couple from Poland, all for 5 cents. So messages, one message each. Yeah, okay. Oh no, we got more here. So Miami, Florida, we're going to gloss down again until we get to the subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 23. Subtotal 65, charges $2.10. Total of all usage charges $2.10. Okay. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service is the same thing as last time. Use service. Enhanced voicemail. Type minutes. Peak 15, 1/7. Included plan minutes. Minutes. Peak 271. off-peak 17, 271 under peak, off-peak 17, weekend 39. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 165, off-peak 13, weekend 46. Monthly service charges, VM and fax, nothing there. Usage charges, messaging charges, $3.40. Taxes, surcharges and assessments, total $1.94. Federal excise tax, 3 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 5 cents. State Communication Service Tax, 31 cents. Local Communication Service Tax, 19 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $5.34. And again, local airtime, long distance and international charges. Start date 2/20/04. Okay, just going down here. 15 minutes from Miami, Florida. Most of these are much the same. Oakland, CA, that's a new one. But yeah, most of these are mobile to mobile. But sadly, without any context, this is not very useful. Okay, 14 minutes, that's an incoming call. Okay, we're at the end. So, after all of that, last date 3/19/04, total 0 VM calls, 23 minutes. Subtotal of minutes is 574 minutes. That's all of that stuff we previously found in the chart. So, I'm just going to do the subtotal. Messaging charges, again, very much the same thing for me. Miami, Florida, and Poland. Oakland, CA is mentioned again. Apart from that, it's very much the same. Okay, so at the end, subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 46 messages. Subtotal 114 messages, for a total of $3.40. Total of all usage charges, $3.40 again. Account service detail for the subscriber redacted. Available service is the same. Use service, enhanced voicemail, type minutes, peak 39, off peak 8, weekend 37. Included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 343, off-peak 67, weekend 128. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 408, off-peak 68, weekend 239. Monthly service charges, VM and fax, nothing there. That's a repeat as well, I need to stop doing that. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $15.05. Messaging charges, $22.70. That's a total of $37.75. Taxes, surcharges, and assessments, total of $7.99. Federal excise tax, 48 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 53 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $3.46. Local Communication Service Tax, $2.16. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $45.74. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date is 3/20/04. So we're going to go down here. Still same details, mainly Miami, Florida. North Dade, Homestead, Florida. Homestead is a new one, actually. I don't know if that's a town or if that could reference an actual homestead. Who knows? Okay, we're just going to gloss down. New York and Brooklyn. Some longer calls here. 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 7 minutes. But those are all... oh no, most of those were incoming. Oh, Jesus. Okay, a couple of 1-800 numbers, or 1-888 numbers, I should say. Okay, 12 minutes as an incoming. Let's just get to Brooklyn, New York City, New York. Yep, we got that. But the rest is just same sort of amount of minutes, same sort of destinations, and every single number is redacted. So, you know, the actual usable information there, we can't even use. We've got a 23-minute incoming call here as well. Okay, same one again. We just want the total at the bottom. We've got customer care. Again, carrying on. There's a lot of it here. So there's going to be a big total at the bottom. As I say, I hope people don't see me as being lazy by doing this, but I think you would rather I gloss over something like this and move on to, you know, appropriate content, especially when I'm mentioning the total of all these columns at the end anyway. But we're sort of glossing over them, so, you know, there's a... You know, I can say I've looked through it. We've got Denver, Colorado as a new address as well. VM retrieval, same. So total 0 VM calls, 82 minutes. So subtotal is 1,338 minutes of call time. Airtime charges total of $15.05. And that's the total as well, $15.05. Okay, now the same for messaging charges. Start date is 3/20/04. Oh, sorry, last date of the last one was 4/19/04. Messaging charges. Start date 3/20/04. Again, Miami, Florida, and Poland. So, let's carry on down. Let's see what we got. All of it from Miami, Florida. Very much the same. Got one or two incoming here. No, we got a couple more incoming here, actually. So if we carry on down, again, Miami, Florida, and incoming, it's exactly the same. Various different times and a range of dates, but I'll close the range when we get to the bottom of the of this sheet. Okay. As I say, I'm keeping an eye out for anything interesting. We got one or two from Poland here. And again, okay, we got New York again as a new address. Or, well, service, I should say. It's a service. South Africa. Some messages to or from there. Oh, no. Outgoing messages. Oh, no. Incoming and... No, these are both outgoing messages to South Africa. So what was he doing there? E-notes. Again. That's a different thing as well. We're going to do the total at the bottom, so don't worry. Yep, all incoming. And it's all the same like amount being charged as well. So we're just going to total that up at the bottom. Okay, Miami, Florida, and Poland again. Okay, subtotal included messages with 0 charges. That's 50 messages. So that's a subtotal of 504 messages altogether. For a total charge of $22.70. And the total of all usage charges is $37.75. Oh, I love it when things are a little bit easier when I'm doing this. So, account service detail for subscriber redacted. Again, available service is the same. Use service, enhanced voicemail, minutes, peak 25, off-peak 5, weekend 5. Included plan minutes, sorry, I'm going loopy here. Minutes, peak 277, off-peak 44, weekend 112. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 566, off-peak 122, weekend 133. Monthly service charges. VM and fax, nothing there. That's a fucking repeat again. I keep tripping up on that. Usage charges. Messaging charges, $10.95, and that's the total as well. Taxes, surcharges, and assessments. That's $3.16 total. Federal excise tax, 3 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 15 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $1. Local Communication Service Tax, 62 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $14.11. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date is 4/20/04. Again, a bunch from Miami, Florida. Mostly 1 minute, one or two from, two from 7 minutes long, which is the unusual one. These are very, very short calls. Okay, so we got New York, we got Denver. Again, it's all either mostly incoming or Miami, Florida. Okay, we got 19 minutes, 17 minutes here. Okay, and this was in 04. So we things only began to come to light in 05, I think, and then 06 stuff actually happened. Because this did result in Epstein's initial arrest in 2006, I believe. I need to double check that actually. I will when I do the clip of the entire police report saga and the police investigation. Yeah, I'll note down what I find in the details afterwards, because I think he did get convicted, but he sort of got off lightly in a way. And then, of course, worse shit happened, which the government, the FBI really cracked down on. So, yep, New York. Okay, big calls here. 24 minutes, 29. That's in Miami, Florida, and an incoming. 22, Miami. Carrying on down. And the last two streams as well were the exception rather than a rule for what we've had so far, because previously we could sort of gloss over pages like this, especially if they were photographs, but, last ones were a bit different. But that's the kind of stuff we want to see. Well, not want to see, but it's the kind of stuff I want to read. That's the kind of stuff I'm here for, basically. Okay, new address is Denver, Colorado. Again, yeah, it is mainly all Miami, Florida, all these calls. But, a couple of others as well. New York, Denver, But Miami is very much the main represented one here, as well as incoming, obviously. Nothing new. Couple of long calls. A couple of longer calls actually coming up. Could it be like, you know... Could be trouble on the home front, perhaps? Perhaps? What am I talking about? Yeah, trouble on the home front. But still, I think the majority of the investigation happened in 05. But it could just be, you know, longer calls as like, you know, get more girls or whatever. Or it could just be business. Sadly, we don't know. Okay, we've got Las Vegas as an address. Okay, we're at the end of it. Total 0 VM calls, 35. So that's a subtotal of 1,289 minutes. And sorry, I should have said minutes in the previous one, 35 minutes. So messaging charges, same rule again. Oh, there. Last date is 5/19/04. There. So messaging charges 4/20/04 is the start date. And now we're going to go down. It's all Miami, Florida at the moment. All Miami, Florida. All Miami, Florida. And now we got some New York addresses. There we go. It's not just Miami. But yeah, Miami is very much the main one. I mean, is it possible that... I don't know if Epstein still has that address. Well, okay, not has. Had that address when the second crackdown happened. Because the address... The photos we saw from the FBI, that was the New York address, I think. I don't think he was in Florida anymore, I don't think. But I think he did... Well, obviously he had the island. And the island wasn't too far from Florida. And well, of course we had Zorro Ranch as well. Okay, Miami, Denver, New York. A couple from New York. Okay, but nothing else is really being represented at the moment. Okay, right, we're at the bottom. Subtotal include messages with 0 charges. That's 50. And... it doesn't give me the total. It doesn't include the total at the bottom. I think it might be a bad scan. It cuts out at the bottom here. Okay. Fair enough. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service, same. Use service. Enhanced voicemail, minutes, peak 15, off peak 6, weekend 8. Included plan minutes, minutes, peak 169, off peak 76, weekend 100. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 340, off peak 76, weekend 151. God, I'm losing my fucking nut. Alright. Monthly service charges. There's no amount here. Partial monthly charges for VM and fax from 5/20/04 to 5/24/04, 5/25/04 to 5/24/05/04, 5/26/04 to 6/19/04. Okay, not sure why that's there. Usage charges. Messaging charges, $5.95. That's a total as well. Taxes, surcharges, and assessments. Total $2.37. Let me bring that mic closer. Federal excise tax, 3 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 9 cents. State Communication Service Tax, 55 cents. Local Communication Service Tax, 34 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $8.32. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Again, start date is 5/20/04. Miami, Florida, and New York are represented immediately. So let's go down and let's hopefully get a subtotal this time. A lot more representation from New York. Sorry, I'm not sure why I'm stuttering and mumbling so much. I probably need to go to bed early, actually. Well, I'll still carry on the stream. I'll see if I can get most of this done. Okay, carrying on down. Denver CO. Again, not much. Nothing particularly of interest. 21 minutes. Call Miami, Florida. Sadly, there's not much to glean from call logs, if anything. And all of that is compiled at the bottom with the total anyway. Or subtotal, I should say. Okay, total 0 VM calls. Minutes, 29. Subtotal of 941 minutes altogether. Messaging charges. Oh no, last date of that was 6/19/04. Messaging charges. Start date 5/20/04. Okay, here we go. A lot more from Miami, Florida. One from New York and one from Poland. Well, let's carry on all the way down. Silver SPG MD, that's a new one. Okay, subtotal include messages with 0 charges, 50. Subtotal 165 messages for a total of $5.95. Total of all usage charges $5.95. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. This is a little bit different. So this first heading, fam time on NTS 800, that's all the same. Then we got NW family time. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, unlimited. Text message received messages 50. Text messages 1000, 1000. Okay. Use service, enhanced voicemail, type minutes, peak 40. Included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 219, off peak 7, weekend 81. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes, peak 216, off peak 38, weekend 30. Monthly service charges. The only one there, well, these are all repeats as well. Different dates, but monthly charge for text message 1000 from 7:15:04 to 7:19:04 is $1.17. Then we've got monthly charge for BM and fax from 60:20:04 to 7:14:04 and then 7:15:04 to 7:19:04. Usage charges, $10.38 total. Local airtime, long distance and international charges, $8.98. Messaging charges, $1.40. One-time charges, $21.39. One-time charge for equipment sales tax, $1.40. One-time charge for equipment purchase charge, $19.99 for a total of $21.39. Taxes, surcharges, and assessments, total $3.54. Federal excise tax, 30 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 16 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $1.06. Local Communication Service Tax, 66 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $36.48. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date is 6/20/04. Miami, Florida, and a few 1888 numbers as well. So let's go down, and then we'll get the totals at the bottom. New York again, still only Miami, Florida. No new addresses that I can see. No big call minutes either. North Dade, Florida, via retrieval. Oh, there's a new. Okay, do assist. Okay, at the end, total 0 VM calls, 38 minutes. So the subtotal is 631 minutes, airtime charges of $7, toll charges of $1.98, and that's a total of $8.98 charges. Same again for messaging charges. Oh, sorry. End date of that, 7/19/04. I keep forgetting that shit. Sorry. Okay, messaging charges. Start date, 6/20/04, Miami, Florida. Okay, so let's go down until we find the bottom. Okay, last date, 7/08/04. Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 32 messages. Subtotal, 60 messages, and charges of $1.40. Total of all usage charges, $10.38. Was it a cat meowing? Nope. Well, Clara's there. That's probably Dexter. He's a good girl. He's a good girl. Yeah, she's at my feet. She has not jumped on my desk. She is learning to behave. Okay. Total of all usage charges, $10.38. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I already said that. Aww. Their meows are so adorable. But no, they have been fed. They have been watered. They've had everything. I gave them a decent amount of attention before, and Clara's wanting more attention now. There's a good girl. He's a good girl. Yes, you are. Yeah, they do like to beg for attention from time to time. Okay, account service detail for subscriber redacted. This is, okay, FamTime units 800. This bit's the same, text message 1000. Free text message, type messages whenever 1000. That's a little bit different. They didn't have the additional options, but I'll keep an eye on this in future, although I think we're near the end of this. Use service, included plan minutes, type minutes, peak 164, off peak 3, weekend 47. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes, peak 300, off peak 45, here she is, weekend 77. She's just going to walk across now, you'll see her tail. Like that. Easy, good girl. Okay, now you're trotting around with my mic. Let me pick you up. Let me pick you up. It's alright, I'm going to pick you on my lap. It's alright, it's alright. It's alright. Here's a good girl. Such a good girl. Here we go. We're going to put you on my lap there. You can sit there. You can sit there. Why don't you sit down? Oh, don't just jump down. Get yourself comfortable here. No, don't jump back up. Sorry, cat trouble. Okay, you can sit there as long as you don't block stuff. Right. So my cat is just sat just here. She's currently behaved. She probably won't be for, in like 20 seconds time, but we'll try. So T-Mobile to T-Mobile. Type minutes. Peak 300, off-peak 45. 46, I think that actually says. Weekend 77. Text message received. Messages whenever 48. Text message sent. Messages whenever 62. Monthly service charges. Text message 1,000. Amount $6.99. And that's the total as well. Nothing for VM and fax. Taxes, surcharges, and assessments. And total $2.53. Federal excise tax. Clara. Federal excise tax. 3 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund. 10 cents. Get your ass out the way, cat. Federal Communication Service Tax, 64 cents. Local Communication Service Tax, 40 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Program Fee, 86 cents. There's alright, there's a good girl. Don't sit on the keyboard. Don't poke the mouse. There we go, that's a good girl. Now just stay like that. Total charges, $9.52. Whew. Hard mode, guys. It's hard mode now with cats. Alright, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date, 7/20/04. Okay, Miami, Florida. Again, we're going to scroll down until we get to the bottom. I think this could be the last entry. We don't know. Depends how long it is. Okay, we've got 21 minutes for New York, but it's still mostly dominated by incoming calls and Miami, Florida. Again, mostly short calls. Cat, don't lick my fingers while I'm scrolling on the mouse. Your tongue is very uncomfortable. There we go, you good girl. I need to wear glasses when doing this. Anyway, at the end, total 0 VM calls. That's 34 minutes. For a subtotal of 637 minutes. And no charges. Okay, nothing else. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. Available service. Home time, Uni NTS 800. 3 minutes, 800 whenever. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, unlimited. Use them or lose them. Weekend, unlimited at the weekend. Free text message 1,000. Free text messages 1,000. Yeah, these are various deals back in the day. And Dexter is here as well. Good grief. It's going to be hard to scroll down with you two sitting there. There's your good boy and there's your good girl. I'm sorry. So when you actually get the clips of my videos, I will cut this stuff out. But this isn't something worth clipping in this case. As I said, my cats are very young. They're kittens. They're very excitable. They demand attention a lot. So, I will give them attention when I need to. And then usually they go to sleep. So I prefer it when they do that sometimes. Well, prefer to do that when I'm streaming. But they've been very, very good most of the day. Yes, you have. Yeah, and you have too. All right, so you can see Dexter. Yeah, okay. You can put your head out a little bit there as well. All right. Use service. Included plan minutes. Peak 190, off-peak 52, weekend 70. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes. Peak 394, off-peak 119, weekend 117. Text message received. Messages whenever 110. Text message sent. Messages whenever 97. Monthly service charges, total $6.99, and that's under text message 1,000. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance, and international charges, $1.98. See, and now they have gone. They've either gone to play on their own or they've gone to sleep. Taxes, surcharges, and assessments, total $2.91. Federal excise tax, 9 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 13 cents. State Communication Service Tax, 82 cents. Local Communication Service Tax, 51 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $11.88. Now, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date is 8/20/04. All right, again, incoming in Miami, Florida, dominating the field. And that's the end of the file. It might be that we'll carry on the next file, because this file is 7,400. So, yeah, we're carrying on from the next file. So, let's go! Right. Hit the floor running. Okay, we've got Grant, NE is a new address. Brooklyn, New York. Okay, 17 minutes for an incoming call. I I'm just mainly looking for new addresses. Minutes, less important. We've seen the occasional big calls, like 21 minutes here, but, you know, as I said, we don't necessarily know the context. It's better that we compile it at the end as a subtotal. Okay. Queens, New York. Direct assist. Okay, scrolling down. Okay, we're at the end. Total 0 VM calls, 57 minutes. Subtotal 942 minutes. Toll charges 198, and that's the total of that's the total as well. Total of all usage charges. Account service detail for subscriber redacted. Okay, this is the same this time. Use service included plan minutes. Minutes peak 235, off peak 3, weekend 30. T-Mobile to T-Mobile. Minutes peak 194, off peak 2, weekend 21. Text message received, type messages whenever 17. Text message sent, minutes, weekend 0.01. Text message sent, messages whenever 24. Monthly service charges, yeah, that's the same again, that's a repeat. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, 224. Taxes, surcharges and assessments, total 297. Federal excise tax, 10 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 13 cents. State Communication Service Tax, 85 cents. Local Communication Service Tax, 53 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Program Fee, 86 cents. Again, I continue to not bother with this bit at the bottom because that's a repeat. Total charges, 1220. Local airtime, long distance and international charges, start date 9/20/04. Okay, let's go down. Okay, same addresses. New York, Miami, incoming. We've got a few here. Delray Beach, Florida. Homestead, Florida. These are different ones. Grant NE. We've got a few for that one here. On 10th, 14th, and 15th. Okay, total 0 VM calls, 48. Subtotal, 485 minutes. Toll charges, $2.24, and that's the total as well. Account service detail for subscriber redacted, okay. This is a repeat, use service. Intel text messages sent, type messages whenever 1. Included plan minutes, peak 487, off peak 55, weekend 109. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, type minutes, peak 360, off peak 89, weekend 122. Text message received, type messages whenever 62. Text message sent, type messages whenever 72. Monthly service charge is a repeat. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance and international charges, $17.50. Messaging charges, 15 cents, for a total of $17.65. Taxes, surcharges and assessments, total $5.92. Federal excise tax, 56 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 34 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $2.25. Local Communication Service Tax, $1.41. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Program Fee, 86. For a total charge of $30.56. Local airtime, long distance and international charges, start date 10/20/04. And down we go. Okay, we got Hollywood as well. Hollywood FL in this case. New Canaan CT. You know, it's a little bit satisfying glossing down. Okay, 23 Miami, Florida. It's a little bit satisfying scrolling down huge files like this because really I have a sort of a desire to move on in a way, but a lot of this is unnarratable, but I will do my best in this context. West Palm Beach, direct assist. Everett, MA, that's a new one. Dedham, MA. Okay, we're at the bottom of that. Total 0 VM calls, 96. Subtotal of 1,222 minutes. Toll charges of $17.50, and that's the total as well. Messaging charges, just one from Poland, for a subtotal of... Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 134. That's a subtotal of 135 messages on the messaging charges, total of 15 cents. Okay, account service detail for subscriber, repeat. Use service, included plan minutes, peak 283, off peak 12, weekend 40, T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 171, off peak 54, weekend 38. Text message received, messages 27 whenever. Text message sent, minutes, peak 0.02, off-peak 0. Text message sent, type messages whenever 40. Repeat monthly service charge, usage charges, local airtime, long distance, and international charges, 5.52. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total 3.58. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax 20 cents, federal universal service fund 17 cents, state communication service tax $1.14, local communication service tax 71, county 911 50, regulatory programs fee 86. Total charges $16.09. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges, date 11/20/04. Okay, Miami, Florida, New York, again represented. New York, Queens 1-800, Grant NE, Charmel VI. These are addresses we've seen before, but these are new repeats in this sheet, I think. Down we go. I do not mind glossing over a lot of these. And again, this file contains like 100 pages, so I think that's how they divide it up. Anyway, okay, there's no total for that, but you know, we don't need to worry about that. Available service, same, use service, Intel text message sent, type messages for whenever. Included plan minutes, peak 218, off peak 5, weekend 53, T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 166, off peak 33, weekend 48. Text message received, 50, whenever. Text messages sent, minutes, peak 009, off peak 0.01. Text message sent, messages whenever 79. Monthly service charges are the same. Usage charges $9.35 total. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges $8.75. Messaging charges 60 cents. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $4.31. Government fees and taxes, federal excise tax 29 cents, federal universal service fund 23 cents, state communication service tax $1.50, local communication service tax 93 cents, county 911 50 cents, regulatory programs fee 86 cents. Total charges $20.65. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Date 12/20/04 is the start date. I keep forgetting to do either the start or the end, so we're up in the air at the moment. So we're just going to scroll down until we see anything new. We've got West Palm Beach, Florida, or whatever the hell in Florida. Don't know what that how you actually pronounce that place. We're getting there eventually. Selden, NY. That's a new address. We haven't seen that before. North Dade, Florida. No, we've seen that before, but first time it's shown up here. Okay. At the end of that, total 0 VM calls is 77 minutes. Subtotal of 526 minutes. Toll charges of $8.75, and that's the total as well. Messaging charges all to Poland. Subtotal including messages with 0 charges. That's 148 for a subtotal of 152 messages for total charge of 60 cents. Total of all usage charges $9.35. Okay, available service is repeat use service. Included plan minutes, peak 212, off peak 60, weekend 53. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 277, off peak 71, weekend 19. Text message received is 81 messages whenever. Text messages sent, minutes, peak 0.06, off peak 0, weekend 0.03. Text messages sent, messages whenever 138. Monthly service charges is the same total. Usage charges $3.75, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Taxes, fees, and surcharges, government fees and taxes, federal excise tax 14 cents, federal universal service fund 15 cents, state communication service tax 98 cents, local communication service tax 61 cents, county 911 50 cents, regulatory program fees 86 cents. Total charges $13.98. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Initial date 1/20/05. I keep missing the end one for all of these. Oh, all right. Let's go down and see if we can find anything of interest. West Palm Beach, Homestead, Perrine, Florida. Seen that come up rarely before. I mean, I will theorize, if we've seen that come up rarely before, could that be the address of a victim that lives in a different area of Florida? Quite possibly, I would say. Okay, same addresses, same sort of length. 520905. Incoming, that's 28. Marion, Ohio. We've got a couple here. We do have a... Okay. San Rafael, CA. That's a new one. San Rafael again. Ooh. Let's just make sure I'm not rolling my chair on a cat or anything. Can't have that. Okay, we're at the end. Total 0 VM calls is 80 minutes. Subtotal of 723 minutes. Toll charges of $3.75, and that's the total as well. Okay, same available service for this next one. Use service until text messages sent, messages for whenever. Included plan minutes, peak 167, off-peak 6, weekend 75. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 111, off-peak 9, weekend 47. Text message received, messages whenever 115. Text messages sent, minutes, peak 015, off-peak 005, weekend 005. Text messages sent, messages whenever 147. Monthly service charges is the same. Users charges total $17.90. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges $17.30. Messaging charges 60 cents. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $5.95. Government fees and taxes 55. Federal excise tax 55 cents. I've been doing this all day. I need to take a break. Federal Universal Service Fund 34 cents. State Communication Service Tax $2.28. Local Communication Service Tax $1.42. County 911 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee 86 cents. Total charges $30.84. Yeah, I'm stumbling a lot of my words and I'm slurring a little bit, but considering that this is a financial record that isn't going to be clipped that I can gloss over anyway, I'm going to choose to proceed. I think if it was like hard text that would be of interest for me to narrate, I would probably take a break at this point, but I don't really need to. I want to try and get dataset 4 done, either in this stream or possibly the next. So, total charges, $30.84. Okay, local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date, 2/19/05. Let's go down. West Palm Beach, North Dade, most of it's still Miami and incoming. Willoughby, Ohio. Yeah, that's Willoughby, Ohio. That's a new address or a new destination that we haven't seen yet. Going down. Okay, West Palm Beach, incoming, direct assist, Marion, Ohio. Okay, at the end, total 0 VM calls, 51 minutes. Subtotal, 427 minutes. Airtime charges, $1.05. Toll charges, $16.25 for a total of $17.30. Messaging charges, all from Poland. Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, that's 305 messages. Subtotal of all messages, 309 messages, for a total of 60 cents. Okay, this next one, same available service. Use service, Intel text messages sent, type messages whenever 10, included planned minutes, 182 peak, off-peak 58, weekend 94. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 99, off-peak 58, weekend 69. Text messages received, whenever 81. Text messages sent as minutes, peak 013, off-peak 001, weekend 004. Text messages sent, type messages whenever 135. Monthly service charges is the same. Usable charges total $17.75. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges $16.25. Messaging charges $1.50. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $5.96. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, 52 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 39 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $2.27. Local Communication Service Tax, $1.42. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Program Fee, 86. Total charges, $30.70. Local airtime, long distance, and international calls. Start date, 3/10/05. Let's go down. Incoming in Miami, Florida, straight off the bat. Willoughby, Ohio again. Marion, Ohio again. Queens, New York, and New York. We're getting the same, much of the same. We got specifically the Bronx. Boca Raton, we've had that once or twice before, but it's been quite a rare show. Sorry, this isn't just me trying to make this super exciting. Okay. West Palm Beach, we have a bunch of new calls here, 40205. The investigation started in 05. That said, I don't think it started in... Is that... Oh, God. It's a weird way you Americans do the whole date thing. So, so this is in April. I think the investigation did start in April, and there were girls going to and from there. So this could be all these calls to West Palm Beach and Boca Raton. These could all be towards victims. Well, obviously, we're not getting those numbers. They're all redacted. Delray Beach, Florida. Yeah, all these different locations in Florida they didn't contact before. He's sort of... It shows he's expanding his operation, Epstein. West Palm Beach, New York. Garden City, New York, that's a new address. Gahanna, Ohio, that's a new address. I think OH is Ohio. I'm sure you'll correct me. I mean, what the fuck else would it be? I don't know. Brooklyn, yeah. Okay, these are different ones. At the end, we got total 0 VM calls, minutes 44, for a subtotal of 567 minutes. Toll charges $16.25, and that's the overall total. Messaging charges, all of this, international, and all of this is to Poland. Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 250. Subtotal of 260. Total fee of $1.50. Total of all usage charges, $17.75. Okay, account service details, same one, same available service. Use service, in total text messages sent. Type messages whenever 2. Included plan minutes, peak 176, off peak 78, weekend 14. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 76. Off peak 13, weekend 4. Text message received, messages whenever 48. Text messages sent, minutes, peak 0.04, off peak 0, weekend 0.04. Text messages sent, messages whenever 47. Monthly service charges are the same. Usage charges are $1.55. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges $1.25. Messaging charges 30 cents. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total of $2.82. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, 7 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 13. State Communication Service Tax, 77 cents. Local Communication Service Tax, 49 cents. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $11.36. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date, 4/20/05. This time we're going for New York addresses, so let's go down, see if there's anything of interest. Again, mainly I'm looking at the call destination, see if we're getting newer stuff. Okay. So Tshirt, email, VI. Yeah. So yeah, different call destinations. I theorize that the later we go into 2005, the more the different ones we're going to get, the different Florida addresses we're going to get, because I think this would reflect Epstein contacting the victims or the victims contacting Epstein. But if they've got the call logs up for that, they can connect the dots from that. I think this is a major part of evidence, except we don't know the number, so we don't actually have any context that we can use. And even if we did, many of these will be victims, and I would want to protect that information anyway. Going down, Miami, Florida, West Palm Beach, Florida, New York. Carrying on down, 1-800 number. Vienna, VA, that's a new one. That's a new destination. Okay, and we're at the bottom. Total 0 VM calls for a total of 67 minutes. Subtotal of 377 minutes. Charges, toll charges of $1.25, and that's the total. Messaging charges, Poland and international PO. Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, messages 111, for a subtotal of 113. Total is 30. So yeah, it doesn't show the logs of all these messages with 0 charges. So that's just not included. So it'll be interesting to see where those messages are. I think I would assume those are messages from within the country, because these are both Polish, and we've got a lot of Polish text messages that incur charges. Okay, for this one, same available service. Use service, included plan minutes, peak 264, off peak 71, weekend 227. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 77, off peak 13, weekend 45. Text messages received, messages 34, under whenever. Text messages sent, minutes, 00. Text messages sent, messages whenever, 34. Monthly service charges are the same. Usage charges, local airtime, long distance, and international charges, $18.54 as a total. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $6.18. Government fees and taxes. Federal excise tax, 59 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 41 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $2.35. Local Communication Service Tax, $1.47. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $31.71. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date, 5/20/05. I still forget to mention the end date on these. Going down. Incoming in Miami and New York. These are the most common. Brooklyn, West Palm Beach, Miami, New York, Brooklyn, New York, Queens, New York. You got to wonder, if he has the New York address, was he doing the same shit there? Because West Palm Beach, Florida, the Florida Police Department was on that, but I don't know if the New York Police Department were also on a similar scheme from his New York address. It wouldn't surprise me. Shermel, VI, Queens, Seattle, Washington. Okay, that's the first time we got that mentioned. Going down. Anoka, MN. Minnesota? Is it Minnesota? Or is that MI? No, MI is Missouri. I don't know. State names are just weird. Just name them 1 to 50. Just call them State 1, State 50, State 49. That'll make things so much easier. No, you're not going to do that. I mean, it's like if we would do that to our cities, I suppose. Still, easier for me if you guys were ever to do that. New Canaan, CT. Okay, that's interesting. Anoka, MN. I think that's Minnesota, yeah. Okay. So we're going. Okay, total 0 VM calls. Minutes, 49. Subtotal, 700. Toll charges, $18.54. That's the overall total. Okay, I fucked it up. It's Michigan. It's not Missouri. It's not Minnesota. Great. Well, I will not be able to blend in if I go to the US. Who would have thunk it? Messaging charges. Subtotal include messages with 0 charges, 70, and that's the same subtotal. Total of all usage charges, $18.54. Account service detail, again. Available service, it's the same. Okay, use service. Intel text message sent. Messages whenever 7. Included plan minutes. Peak 389, off peak 77, weekend 49. T-Mobile to T-Mobile. Minutes. Peak 130, off peak 19, weekend 23. Text messages received. Minutes. Weekend 0.01. Off peak is 0. Text messages received. Messages whenever 133. Text messages sent. Minutes. Weekend 0. Text messages sent. Messages whenever 97. Monthly service charges. Okay, this is different. For it is the same total of $6.99, but we got different charges. Partial monthly charges for ILDs, bus SAR levels, text messages 1000s, VMN faxes, and we got 620.05 to 713.05, 714.05 to 714.05, 715.05 to 715.05. That is repeated here, except with 719.05 at the end. Partial monthly charge for VMN fax, 620.05 to 713.05, 714.05, 714.05, 715.05 to 719.05. Yeah, that is the same. Amounts 559, 23 cents, and 117 under the text message 1000s. Usage charges, $8.55. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges, $7.50. Messaging charges, $1.05. Taxes, fees, and surcharges. Federal excise tax, 26 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund, 25 cents. State Communication Service Tax, $143. State Communication Service Tax, 89. County 911, 50 cents. Regulatory Programs Fee, 86 cents. Total charges, $19.73. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date, 6/20/05. Miami, Florida. And New York again. Marion, Ohio. Scrolling down. Nothing new. We got a few more to Anoka and Merriam. Carrying on down. Okay. Now we've got confirmed Americans in the chat. What does that say? Flatortadle, Florida. I don't know. Unless that's shorthand for something. That very much confuses me. Unless that's like the original... If that's the original Native American spelling, sure, I get that. but I cannot pronounce it for the life of me, and I'm scared to. Anyway, carrying on down, we've got no other things. Queens, New York. Again, okay, Northdale, Homestead, Springfield MO. Okay, and we're at the end. Total 0 VM calls, 39 minutes. Subtotal of 687 minutes. Toll charges of $7.50, and that's the total as well. Messaging charges, all to Poland. Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 234, for a subtotal of 241 messages, total charge of $1.05. Total of all usage charges, $8.55. Okay, this might be the last one. Available service on this one is the same. Use service until text message is sent. 2 messages whenever. Included plan minutes, peak 331, off-peak 21, weekend 98, T-Mobile to T-Mobile. Minutes, peak 108, off-peak 11, weekend 56. Text message record. Messages whenever 117. Text messages is sent. Messages whenever 77. Monthly service charges $6.99. Again. Usage charges $19.43. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges $19.13. Messaging charges 30 cents. Taxes, fees, and surcharges total $6.34. Federal excise tax 62 cents. Federal Universal Service Fund 41 cents. State Communication Service Tax $2.43. Local Communication Service Tax $1.52. County 911 50 cents. Regulatory Programs fee 86 cents. For a total charges of $32.76. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. A bunch of incoming calls from 70905 and New York as well. Going down, New York, Miami, West Palm Beach, Boynton Beach, Florida. That could be a new one, or is one we've seen before. Again, it lends credence to my theory that these are communications with victims who lived in different parts of Florida. And that's why this is of special interest to the police. Shah Amel VI. Okay. Same again. Alright, and down again. Okay, and we're at the end of the file. 7,500, but I suspect we're going to get more on the next one, and we do. Let's carry on down. We got a few block numbers and numbers unavailable. That's just as useless as redacting it, unfortunately. Aspen CO. Oh, Vail CO. Is that Vail CO? VAIL, I think that is. Albuquerque, New Mexico. The only thing I know about New Mexico is Breaking Bad. Okay, carrying on down. Okay, total 0 VM calls, 61 minutes. Subtotal 625 minutes. Toll charges $19.13. It's the same as the total there. Messaging charges. Subtotal included messages with 0 charges, 194 minutes. Subtotal 196 minutes. I'm just going to do the subtotal for the messaging charges in future. Total is 30 cents. Total of all usage charges $19.43. Okay, this one, available service is the same. Use service until text messages sent. Messages whenever 6. Included plan minutes, peak 270, off-peak 47, weekend 180. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 52, off-peak 2, weekend 51. Text messages received, minutes, peak 014, off-peak 001, weekend 001. Text messages received, messages whenever 76. Text messages sent, minutes, peak 001. Text messages sent, messages whenever 62. Monthly service charge is the same. Usage charges. I'm just going to do the totals of usage charges and taxes, fees, and surcharges in future, because we've been through all these lines. They've got little totals, and I think to speed things up along, I'm just going to do the totals because it matches what I do with the local airtime, long distance, and international charges. I don't think people will begrudge me if I do that. So usage charges $20.26. Taxes, fees, and surcharges $6.47 for total charges of $33.72. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date 8/20/05 in West Palm Beach. Let's scroll down. A lot of block numbers, a lot of unavailable numbers. This matches some of the victims saying that they either blocked the number or they just avoided contact with Epstein. Carrying on down. West Palm Beach, Miami. It's mainly Miami and incoming still. Now, a lot more in West Palm Beach, though. A lot more here. around the 9:10:05 mark. Okay, carrying on down. At the end, for a subtotal, I'm not going to bother with the total 0 VM calls anymore. Subtotal of calls is 602 minutes for toll charges of $19.36, and that's the total. Messaging charges, subtotal is 177 minutes with 90 cents total charge. Total of all usage charges is $20.26. Okay, available service. Not there. Oh, same again, sorry, I should say. Use service, Intel text messages service, messages 2, whenever. Included plan minutes, peak 457, off-peak 71, weekend 37. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 61, off-peak 4, weekend 7. Text messages received, messages 96, text messages sent 55. Monthly service charges $6.99 again. Usage charges $24.96. Taxes, fees, and charges total $7.42. Total charges $39.37. Local airtime, long distance, and international charges. Start date 9/12/05. So this is like a monthly thing. We're going to be here a while. But a lot of these numbers called are number and available. That's very interesting. So it could just be they've called the same person several times, or the same person has called them several times. With a few more redactions there. That's interesting. A lot of numbers are unavailable at this point. Okay, down. Okay, Roxbury, MA. That's a new address, or call destination, I should say, from Epstein's phone. A lot more block numbers. A lot more block numbers this month. Marion, Ohio. Okay. Well, it doesn't specifically say they're from Epstein's phone. Actually, yes, it did. Right at the start, they requested call logs from Epstein. Actually, no, that was the first lot. This could be from an assistant or somebody associated. A conspirator, I should say. But I think it's all connected with Epstein, so I think it's a member of Epstein's staff rather than Epstein himself. I'll double check that at the end, actually. Miami, Florida, Queens, Brooklyn. Yep, again. Carrying on down. 411 numbers. Carrying on down. Nothing new. At the end is a subtotal of 637 minutes for a toll charges of $24.66. Messaging charges subtotal is 153 messages for a total of 30 cents. Okay, available service, same. Use service, included plan minutes. Peak 334, off-peak 40, weekend 146. T-Mobile to T-Mobile, minutes, peak 58, weekend 34. Text messages received 135, text messages sent 135. Monthly service charges $6.99, usage charges $12.89, taxes, fees, and surcharges $5.06. Total charges $24.94. Local airtime, long distance, international charges. Date 10/18/05. It starts there. It's monthly anyway. Shah Amel VI is the first address. We got a few more there, and a few incoming as well. Going down, a bunch of incoming. Marion, New York, Queens. Lexington, MA, that's a new destination we haven't seen yet. Carrying on down. I'm sorry, it's the most interesting thing of me reading this is like, oh my god, it's a new call destination. Randolph, MA, that's a new destination as well. I wonder how long these. I know these call logs don't go on forever. I know we've got some shorter files coming up. I did have some ambitions of actually getting this done, like within this stream or the next. It's probably going to be within the next stream, I would say. And partly because I'm really, really tired for some reason. Okay. Same again. Okay, subtotal of minutes 612. Toll charges 12.89, and that's the total as well. Messaging charges subtotal 270 minutes. Total of all usage charges 12.89. Okay, available service is the same. Use service, Intel text messages sent 4, included plan minutes, peak 508, off peak 24, weekend 115. T-Mobile to T-Mobile. Minutes, peak 87, off peak 2, weekend 33. Text messages received 108. Text messages sent 121. Monthly service charges $6.99. Usage charges $19.01. Taxes, fees, and surcharges $6.32. Total charges are $32.32. And again, local airtime, long distance, international charges. Date 11/21/05. It's the start of this, and we're going down. Okay, New York's address, Lexington again, Brooklyn, block numbers. Again, this is narratable, but I think because a lot of these are repeats and it's very, very boring and irrelevant, because we don't have the number call data, there's not much point in me dwelling, spending too much time on that. I feel a little bit guilty for that. I do want to narrate the entire thing, but just stuff like that would bog things down for far too long, I think. So incoming number called 303. I'm not sure what that is. I think these are like, service numbers in the US. Harrisonburg, VA. That's a new one, maybe, I think. Boston, MA. We've seen Boston. Haven't seen Boston yet. Okay, direct assist, 411s. 1-800 numbers as well. Ooh. We've got a new... can't tell if there's a... Hello there. Are you trying to narrate the whole of the files or just a part of it, since there are millions of pieces of information? I'm attempting to narrate the entire lot. However, as you can see with what I'm doing right now, some things are more interesting than others, and some things I can gloss over a bit more. I'm still marking my passage of them, in a way, if that makes sense. But, some things I can go through quicker than others. So with Light, we'll get a little bit more of that, and we'll be able to proceed within the files. I've done several thousand at this rate, so we'll see. We'll see where we go. It might be that I'll give up the ghost at some point, but for now, I'm still going strong. I'm doing data set 4 at the moment out of 12, and apparently there's going to be some more coming. So, whoo, oh boy, yeah. Anyway, carrying on down, Lexington, Queens, Brooklyn, coming down. Sometimes it just gets hyper redundant. Absolutely, that's my idea. It's why I want to skip repeats as well, but I just mentioned that it's a repeat. Yes, content for a few years to come, yeah. Well, it doesn't... I still do my existing content anyway with HFY, and I do intend to do more streaming in the future. Like, I would consider this like a pre-debut stream, because I think when I do stream properly, it'll be more exciting and fun stuff, and I'll have an overlay, I'll have my panels and all. I'm far more professional setup than what I'm doing now, and I might also play the occasional video game, because that's fun compared to this. So yeah, this will still give me content for a little while, but it won't get in the way of what I already do and why people subscribe to the channel. It doesn't replace it at all. It's just an add-on, if you will. Oh god, and my throat's drying up again. Anyway, subtotal at the end is 769 minutes. Total charges $18.41. Hopefully an audience in at least the double digits. No, well, we had that at the start. I don't expect so many viewers in this, because this is very boring. The main thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take clips from the streams and stick those up. Those are the interesting bits of the Epstein Files. That's what's going to get the views. This is just, this is just going to be buried deep within the channel, and I can bring it up as proof that I have narrated the Epstein Files. That's it. I mean, it's, I don't expect big things for the stream. It's why I'm not going to bother with a streaming setup or anything like that for stuff like this. But when I started the Epstein Files, yep, it got attention. But the clips that I've been making, they are going to get a lot more attention. I mean, we got one coming up which is 5 hours of me covering the police reports. I was just messing with you. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. We're naturally getting viewers anyway of people that are curious. But this is not a draw for the channel. But it's more a personal challenge for myself, and people can witness me. Anyway, messaging charges is next. Subtotal 233 messages. Total charge 60 cents. Total of all usage charges $19.01. Okay, we got new monthly service charges of 23 cents for partial monthly charge for text message 1000 from 12:20:05 to 12:20:05 and 12:21:05 to 12:21:05, and we've got the same range for partially monthly charge for ILD bar sub level and partial monthly charge for VM and fax. In fact, I should have just said the total is 0.46. Taxes, charges, taxes, fees, and surcharges $1.45. Total charges $1.91. Local airtime, long distance, and international tools calls. International charges. Fucking hell. Subtotal 7 minutes. Total of all usable charges, nothing there. That's done. Okay, we are away from that shit. Screw that. I don't want to do those files anymore. The plus side, of course, we have gotten a significant chunk of the way through dataset 4 doing that. I did the last 2 streams when I was covering the police reports. Again, some pages can be glossed over. I mean, for example, out of the, was it 3.5 million or 2.5 million? Doesn't matter. Out of those pages, for example, an example page, this is one of those individual files marked. Like, one file in that number is one page, and one page could just be that. So that's why I'm not too worried. But that said, I'm at 7,541. So, yeah. A million is about 300 times that, I would say. 0. Yeah, it would be about 300, 400, 500 times that, around that length. But I do know that a lot of the pages coming up are either fully redacted or like this. So I should be able to gloss over them. Plus, to be honest, there are no other huge projects I could do at the moment that reflect current events. I did have an opportunity a little while ago to narrate a VTuber's 1,000-page apology and evidence document, but when I approached the VTuber and asked, I was ignored, so I didn't do it. So this is still current events. I don't want to let this die, but also I get really drunk sometimes, and I agree to do stupid challenges, and I like to be a man of my word. It's just how it is. Anyway, carrying on. 1B113. Item is not scanned. Description, 2 videotapes. Official .lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. On Bungie. 13. There you go. There's 3 pages. That was easy. That took me barely a couple of seconds. So I'm not too worried about the 3.5 million files length. It's just the content of them. It depends on the content. But, of course, when I do get interesting content, I clip that shit and I make that a video. Because ain't nobody has any time to just sift through all these streams. 1B114. Item was not scanned. Scanned. Description, 2 DVDs. Official .lab instructions, revised July 27th, 2020. Happy birthday from Redacted. DVD, 4.7 GB, 120 minutes. Original. Happy birthday from Redacted. DVD, 4.7 GB, 120 minutes. The Adventures of Redacted. And we're through that again. 1B1 15B, 1B1 15C, 1B1 number 15ABC, free frame photos, Cabana, bulky. 1B1 15A, BC, free frame photos, Cabana. See? Some of these files I can breeze through. Item is not scanned. Description, twin torpedoes times 2. Official .lab instructions revised July 27th, 2020. Now, I suspect these are not military torpedoes for some reason. Let's find out. Jolly good! It's a dildo. Twin torpedoes, all new power pack with separate vibrating controllers, on-off. Twin torpedoes, separate vibrating controllers, control your own fantasy, and explore the different levels of erotic vibrations. Warning, to avoid injury or aggravation or pre-existing conditions, this device should not be used on swollen or inflamed areas or skin lacerations. Do not use while bathing or in the shower. No medical claims are warranted or implied by use of this product. All new power pack, separate vibrating controllers. Takes 3 AA batteries, not included. Sorry, I go a bit loopy doing this sometimes. 1B123A. 1B123A. Adult Video Warehouse. MPR FL334 08. 072305. EMP number redacted. EMP number 679654. 5:07:38 PM. Store number 11. Novelty all the way down. 12.99 times 2, 19.99, 69.99, 7.99, 6.99, 19.99, 5.99, 21.99, 21.99 for a total of sub 200.98. Take 13.06. Total 213.96. Tendered MasterCard Visa 213.96. No novelty returns, no refunds. Lingerie must have tags attached. Yeah, we're done so with that too. You see what I mean? Some of these we can go through quickly. 1B123B. Item was not scanned. Description, 1 adult soap on a rope. Official .lab instructions for July 27, 2020. Let's have a look at the chat. Every time you allude to getting drunk, all I can think of was the old show, the fashion show, and that guy that would do the segments at... And at the time, I was really, really drunk. Well, I mean, you sometimes see me drunk when I'm on the end of month like community calls. I wasn't drunk in the last one because I'm trying to get on the keto diet, and the most alcohol I drink is like a little dram of whiskey, and that's about it. And even then, because I'm shifting to a low-carb diet, even that can massively throw me off during the night or in the morning with like heavy dehydration and headaches and stuff. I've got to be careful. The Fast Show. Oh, I better Google that. That's not something I've seen yet. Okay, item was not scanned. Description: 1 adult soap. Official .lab instructions. Released July 27, 2020. Now, I will say these are repeats from dataset 3 because we actually saw the items in question. A lot of these are just... I mean, I'm assuming these are taken from the Florida Police Department or West Palm Beach, Florida Department or whatever it is. Yeah, but it's like we've not seen like a photo of the item in question, which is good because we had dildos flopping on the screen last time I did that. I was not impressed. Item was not scanned. Description: 1 adult soap. Official .lab instructions. July 27, 2020. Sexy loving soap. And it's a penis. Well, fuck that. Let's go on to the next file. 1B231. 1B231. 1 green massage table. Bulky. Okay. Item was not scanned. Description: evidence bag. Official .lab instructions. Released July 27, 2020. Town of Palm Beach Police Department. Evidence. Case 05368. Property 05237. 128137. Contents. Item 1. Quantity 1. Description: micro. Suspect officer detective redacted. Date 03-1405. Lab number nothing there. KL231. Item was not scanned. Description: mini audio cassette. Official .lab instructions. Released July 27th, 2020. Now these are the items that have been mentioned in the police reports because they mentioned putting audio cassettes into evidence after interviews with witnesses and victims. And there we go. Meeting, memos, others, not selected. AB, not selected. Sony 05368. Prop 05237, I think that says. A, MC90, title. Why am I reading that? I don't know. Okay, IB3, 10. 10. Item was not scanned. Description: evidence bag. Official .lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. I suspect at this point some of the words I'm saying aren't even making sense because I'm slurring and stumbling so badly. Oh well. Town of Palm Beach Police Department. Police evidence. Case number 05368. Property 05313. 128148. Item 1. Quantity 1. Description: Maxell cassette tape. Officer detective redacted. Date 4405. Item was not scanned. Description: audio cassette tape. Official .lab instructions. Revised July 27, 2020. By the way, bunch of repeats on there, so I haven't done them. Maxell Professional Industrial Communicator Series. PI cassette low noise high output. C90. A05368. Voice mail messages. Catalog number. Prop 05313. 45 minutes per side running time. Maxell Communicator Series. C90. Ah, the good old days of cassette tapes. Okay, IB35. Item was not scanned. Description: evidence bag. Official .lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. 5. Town of Palm Beach Police Department. Evidence 05368. Property 05256. 128137. Description: micro W redacted. Suspect: Epstein J redacted. Officer detective redacted. Date 03-1805. Item was not scanned. Description: micro audio cassette. Official .lab instructions. Revised July 27th, 2020. Okay, so we've seen this again. We've seen this design of tape, so I will instead basically do what's written on it. 05368. Property of... prop number, I think. There's the hash. 05256, I think this is. 256. And it's redacted as the title. So possibly a victim interview there. Okay! What the fuck is this? Yeah, Epstein did like to have, like, scribbles on his paper, which are fairly illegible. We've seen that before on with the FBI photos from earlier. Okay. One glass is no glass better, take 2. Sure. It was on the BBC. Ah, that's the problem. I don't watch the BBC anymore. Microcassette tapes are very small. So I would normally say this as Zeph. That could, with context, that could actually be Jeff. Bernie or something? E? This is very illegible to work out. Charlie SHAPE? Or something shape. I think that word is shape. Very, very sure that's shape. It's a very distinct way of writing it. Pletz? Fergil? Chrism or Crim. Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh boy. Oh boy, that bitch. Right. Sorry. I did context. I've said this before. I'll say it again. While I haven't necessarily encountered Epstein's testimonies yet, but I have seen Ghislaine Maxwell's. She is a brat, and I've seen that in the transcripts. And more importantly, they still have her. She has not flipped on anyone. She's not given names, nothing like that. She's one of the main barriers to these victims getting justice. And I am of the opinion that she should be put in the same supermax as El Chapo to pressure her into doing it. Guantanamo Bay sounds like a lovely place for her as well. Assuming that even still exists. I don't think it does. Well, it might do, actually. It's just I haven't heard about it for a while. Sorry. On a while? From a while? Again, sorry. It's late at night, my head gets scrambled. Okay. Would it be worth running it through an AI to get a better read on those scribbles? Well, I can tell you which file number it is. It's dataset 4, and it's 7585. That's where we've got scribbles, and we've had that in other places as well. But by all means, if people want to separately use AI to do that, you would very much be doing your part to helping expose this. But I don't have an AI at hand. Obviously, I'm allergic to AI, being who I am. But if anybody else wants to do that, I encourage them to do so. Like, do your bit, absolutely. That's partly why I'm doing it. And that's why I will always shout out my fellow creators that are doing their own little thing with the Epstein stuff. Clara, stop trying to get into my cupboard. There's nothing there for you. Okay, there's treats on the top shelf, but she can't access those. Anyway, let's carry on. Okay. Carpenter and Company Inc., Charles Square, 20 University Road, Cambridge, MA, 02138 617 864 2800. For simile, 617 864 5990. September 19, 2005. Jeffrey Epstein, 358 El Brillo, Palm Beach, FL 33480. Dear Jeffrey, I previewed this house last week. Appropriate for you. Off Brattle Street, short walk to Harvard Square. Very good condition, which is remarkable for most Cambridge properties. If you wish to view property between Tuesday the 20th and Saturday the 24th, call Gail Roberts at Redacted and set up a time with her assistant, Redacted. I will return to Boston on the 24th and can show property after that time. Any questions, call me at Redacted. Sincerely, Redacted. Real estate since 1898. Okay. FedEx US Air Bill. We've seen these kind of air bills before on other streams. I'll cover only the entered information. Hello, Clara, you're on my bookshelf, and you're going to pull off my karate black belt again, even though I don't use it anymore. That is sentimental value, you know. You shouldn't be dealing with that. Great. Anyway, from date 9/19/05. FedEx tracking number redacted. Sender's name redacted. Phone redacted. Company Carter & Co. Address 20 University Road, City, Cambridge. State MA. Zip 02138 5756. Two recipients named Jeffrey Epstein. Recipient's address 358 El Brillo. City, Palm Beach. State, Florida. Zip 33480. Express package service. FedEx standard overnight. Express freight service. Nothing there. Packaging. FedEx envelope. This cat is a gremlin. Look at the evidence right here. Really? Really? I'm going to have to put that back up there, you know? What am I going to do? What am I going to do with you, eh? Oh, well. They can play with it for now. Packaging, FedEx envelope. Special handling, does your shipment contain dangerous goods? No. Payment, sender. And redacted is the signature there as well. Okay, important message for JE. Date 9/19/05, time 8:30 p.m. M redacted, phone mobile redacted, telephone please call. So we've seen this before. This is like internal memos for like who called and what did they want, that kind of thing as well. So these are basically callback messages. Presumably as he was moving between properties or just out of the house in general. Clara, calm down. Alright. Redacted thinks 7:30 p.m. W/U, so maybe with you? Should be okay, but says the later the better. There was a nice big barrel of weather moving our way. Larry's keeping an eye on it. Jeffrey E. Epstein. Okay. We're going to have to zoom in a little bit for this because this is fairly illegible. So this is all crossed out. Redacted. LSJ. Wed. Redacted. LSJ. Little St. John. Is it Little St. John or Little St. James? I can't remember off the top of my head. That LSJ stands for whatever Epstein's private island is called. That is Epstein Island. Back seat for LA. To Eric. CEINTER. Guest list. File something. Of VOAR, I thought I said. 7 p.m. S question mark. I don't know. It's shorthand and internal jargon that I can't really comprehend. Yes, Little St. James. Okay. Thank you, Aaron, in the chat. Whew. Yes, mission support. Something table. Spanish. I would say there's probably. It looks sort of like Spanish table. I don't know, but that looks more like a J. I would say. Redacted. ABC rug picks. Ohio. Sunday. Boston Monday. Paris Tuesday. ABC. Carpet. Gun holsters is emphasized here. Something is heavily crossed out here. But that's Jeffrey E. Epstein. So, yeah. We saw a similar note like this saying Ghislaine Maxwell at the bottom. It's like a his and her notepaper for making notes. Fine. 7:30 p.m. Jet A. 8:30 p.m. from Lauderdale. Redacted. Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, this might not necessarily refer to a victim. Could also refer to a pilot. Because obviously they mentioned the weather. So, we'll see. I mean, if it mentions Jet A, could mention a pilot rather than a victim. Okay, 4. Gilt. Plaster lamps. GILT, I think that says. No, redacted. Redacted. 1:15 p.m. dash redacted. So this could be 1:15. This could be a meeting with somebody. Could be anyone. Possibly a victim. Scribbled out stuff here, which I can't necessarily make out. Green's Farm, maybe? PHARM. LSJ is the island. This is redacted. Jimmy. Redacted. FERNOOR, maybe? 7:25 PR AM Sunday. Pigeon. Thursday morning, set morning. And this is... Candy? Maybe that word says? It's very, very difficult to make out what he's saying. I mean, you know, you guys can have a look yourselves as well. This is Jeffrey Epstein at the bottom. This is file 7592. You should be able to access this yourself towards the end of dataset 4 from the Epstein Files from the Department of Justice website. So yeah, if you guys want to do your own research and have a look at that writing yourself, scan it with AI, do whatever, please, I encourage you to do so. You know, I think this, you know, I think I'm to be frank, a drop in the ocean of trying to expose this stuff to people. There are other creators out there that perhaps more of a drop, but it's always good to, it's always good to work together on this. And indeed, if you think you can find out what this says by running it through AI better than I can, absolutely do that. Earlier, I think. Ooh. EARLY? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think, it's Fallout Dodo. Thank you very much. Yeah, early Thursday morning. Yeah, that's absolutely right. In context, that would actually make sense. It does say early. So thank you very much for that. As I say, please, feel free to comment or do your own thing in the background. And there are subreddits on Reddit as well covering the Epstein stuff, videos, all sorts of other stuff as well. So, by all means, contribute to that. Collaborate with everybody else on that as well, because, as is what I've said before, our public institutions, there seems to be a lot of stalling, and it seems like they're not doing as good a job as they should be on this. So it's up to the public, I think, to step up and to help however they can. And it's the same with the media, for example. Old media's been very silent on this. Newer media, including creators like myself and other people, I think they are vital in exposing this to a wider audience and informing people of what's going on. Mine is from less of a journalistic perspective, but it's very much, it's very much the body of it. Well, this is the only thing that I'm ever going to write that I'll be able to get you to narrate on your channel. Oh, don't be like that. We've got writing guides, and we've got a supportive community on the Discord for aiding budding writers. So, that's up there if you ever feel the need. But don't say, oh, I'm going to be terrible. No, trust me. If you do basic spelling and grammar, that alone will probably win me over. Anyway, that's done. Another question. I don't get with these messages all scratched out. Why didn't you just throw them away? Why indeed? It's the same with a lot of the photos and a lot of the videos. He kept a lot of it when he probably should have deleted it. I mean, had he deleted it, he wouldn't have been in the spot he was in. I think, in a way, he just liked hoarding stuff. And these were internal memos, I think. They may have just stuck on a board somewhere or just, kept in an in-out tray. But yeah, maybe the actual disposing of the stuff, that might occur once every couple of months or something. But yeah, this just seemed like the kind of guy he was. He would just doodle down his thoughts and just cross it out or whatever. Because this isn't the first time we've seen this. Anyway, what does this say? Redacted. Maury, maybe? I'm trying to work out what that says. Looks like a lowercase t and a g, or Hurea, maybe? Maury? May have crossed them as they hit the timeline. Yeah, maybe. Redacted. And this one. This does look more like a signature. I mean, Zorr. This could be this could refer to Zorro, maybe. I don't know. Or this is something else. But this is all this one word. Oh. Clara, what are you doing? Anyway. Zorr. I mean, it doesn't necessarily say Zorro. Okay, yep. You've jumped on the desk. Well done. You're performing gymnastics in my office. Sorry, my cat's a little mad as well. Jeffrey E. Epstein. Okay, we got something I can actually read. God, I feel illiterate just reading those scribbles. But zero regret. God. That could very well be it. I don't know. The end of it does... The end of it, I mean, you got the R, but it's like this one. It looks more like an N. Not necessarily a no, but God, that context, zero regret, would be such a dark thing to add, considering everything. But no, I encourage. I mean, this could be something. Run this stuff through AI. I mean, 7592. We've got the we've got the file names here. 7593. If for some reason the Department of Justice has gotten rid of it, just DM me on Discord. I'll send them to you. JP Morgan Chase. Okay, I'll go for the things I can read. I'm stalling. I'm getting caught up. JP Morgan Chase. Fax cover sheet. Date time September 20th, 2005. Number of pages including this cover sheet 1. If you do not receive a clear transmission, please call redacted. Telephone redacted. Delivered to Jeffrey Epstein. Company department, nothing there. Address, location, nothing there. Fax number, telephone, redacted. Sent from redacted. Legal entity, department, asset and wealth management. Address, location. 322 Fifth Avenue, 3rd floor, New York, New York, 10036. Fax number redacted. Telephone redacted. Message. Jeffrey, the deal is not going to work. Feel free to move your money. I will call you tonight. Thanks. Redacted. Dictated but not read. The deal is not going to work. Let's check the... Okay. This is September 20th, 2005. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head. Last stream, we found the part where the grand jury from the state attorney, or the... Was it state attorney? I think it was. Where there was a deal being made by Epstein's legal team. September 20th, 2005. I can't remember if this was the sort of date when that happened. And that's the deal they're mentioning. The deal is not going to work. Feel free to move your money. Okay. Because the second grand jury, that happened in 2006, from what we learned, when weirdly enough, the Attorney General's the state Attorney General's state attorneys? The state Attorney General's... I don't know how it works over there. State Attorney General's office, they were stalling a little bit, and then there was a stall tactic by introducing the conflict of interest by changing the legal team to the state attorney's husband. Not changing the state attorney's... Yeah. By Epstein hiring the state attorney's husband to his legal team, creating the conflict of interest. And then we had Dershowitz, and then we had victim intimidation and all that kind of stuff. But it looks like, despite those efforts, they were still able to get that grand jury and then arrest Epstein. This was the first time. I think he was arrested, and then he was let go with minor charges. Thanks, redacted. Dictated but not read. Okay. I'm not going to read that fucking small print, Jesus. Townhouse report, in-house use only. Print date, 9/19/2005. Agent, SBB. 90s, 67th Street, 99383, 5th and Madison. Okay. Okay, so this is a housing thing. Sale price. Oh, unless... Maybe not, in that case, maybe not the deal with the state attorney or district attorney or whatever it is. Maybe the deal to acquire a new place. Who knows? Sale price, 10,500,000. Date listed 03/22/2002. Last change closed. Cash required 0. Last updated 05/17/2005. Current status closed. Net income 0. Listing agent sir. Original price 11 million. Commission 2%. Updating agent sir. Date is on file 1,277. Occupancy date 05/17/2005. Listing type co-broke. Listing source Rolex. Block lot 13829. Zoning 49. Building size 25 × 102 and lot size same. Units 11, floors 5. Total square feet 12,500. Residential roof garden. No, nothing under elevators, garden, roof garden, basement, penthouse. So residential rooms 11. I'm assuming this is rooms. Like residential rooms 11, commercial 5. Now, I specifically want to mention the total square feet 12,500. I think this is his house in New York. This is the one we've seen the photos being taken, because I remember specifically 12,500. It could, of course, not be the case. I could be wrong. But I think 5th and Madison, I think I remember 67th Street. I think I remember them from the very first streams that we did that covered that address in New York. So we'll see. My body is tired, my mind wants to keep going. Description, 25 limestone landmark. Extraordinary development opportunity, unique 1879. 5-story townhouse built 102, approx. Architectural accoutrements, fucking hell. 11 to 18 ceilings. Big words, I hate big words. A prox pH structure on roof. Layout, ground floor, 2 offices, 1 apartment. Wall, 18 seals. Former library and duplex 2 BR apartment. Beautiful ceilings, marble WBFP, mahogany seal, second beautiful wall to wall. Leaded glass windows, mahogany seals, duplex 2 BR marble fireplace. Yeah, that is the address. I remember all those details, they're all there. Hello Britboy, hello Flint. Expenses, real estate taxes, 5,000. No other charges, including water and sewer, heat, electric, insurance, superintendent, other. Total expenses, $5,000. Net income, not listed. Sales price, $10,500,000. Okay. Have been divided into pots, into something. Delivered. Oh, cat. Fuck it, this writing is so hard. 9 limestone. Tech something? But intricate. Yeah, limestone, but intricate. Needed craft? Grat? A lot of square bottage as build deeps. And this is... That word says pine. That word says the, but that's about it. So I think once I'm done with this file, I'm going to end the stream. My throat is dying once again, and I am getting tired. You know, sometimes I can push through tiredness if it's like financial records again and stuff that I can gloss through. But because this is more interesting, I will come back fresh for the next stream. But I'll do my best right now. So yeah, it's very, very hard to read that writing, I will admit. Townhouse report, in-house use only. Print date 09/19/2005. Agent SPP. Okay, this is a repeat. Is another page. Remarks set out to follow. Expenses. Real estate taxes. $51,039. Water and sewer, heat, GEO, electric, insurance superintendent, other, nothing there. Total expenses, nothing. Net income, nothing. Sales price, $17,800,000. Fucking Christ. And I thought housing prices here were bad. Okay, we got more scribbles. Redacted 1 p.m. Tick. Redacted 4:30 p.m. LM. LM probably refers to one of his addresses. Yeah, we did see LM before, just as LSG was a thing. LM, what's it? No, I don't think LM does necessarily refer to that address. 4:30 p.m. LM. Choose at 9 p.m. LM. That's redaction, something V, unless it's a signature. And this is a scrap of paper from Ghislaine Maxwell. Definite answer tomorrow. Unpromising. Okay. Well, say what you want about the brat Maxwell, but at least she has more legible writing. Of course she's a liar, so no doubt I'm going to get Dershowitz on my ass or something. Well, we'll see what happens if that happens. 1B6-119. And that's it. So yeah, I will have to end the stream here. I've been going for a good 2.5 hours. I've gone for longer before. Trouble is, I think the consistency that I'm doing these streams, yeah, it does get to me eventually. My throat does get really, really sore. So yeah, we got some more stuff to read next stream, although this stuff is short. With luck, I am hoping that I'm able to get dataset 4 completed next stream, stream after, who knows. We're certainly starting to get to the end of dataset 4, so that's my hope. And God, we managed to pick up quite a few viewers this time. But as I say, I'm aware that this isn't necessarily a draw, but interesting things or points of interest I will attempt to clip and release as a separate video so like people can rewatch or just get to the interesting parts rather than the waffle and and the non-info that I had to do sort of before, in a way. Anyway, enough of that. I need to go to sleep, and I need to pay attention to my cats, who are very, very patient with me today. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. As I say, I look forward to doing the next stream as soon as possible, and I hope I'm healthy enough to do that.